everybody. My name is Eric Kasloff, and welcome to Smells Like Teen Horror. Okay, so this is a pitch I did before on the channel and on the Hey, Can I Pitch You Something? Now, the pitch is really good. I had to rework some stuff for it. My sound, like always, I think is pretty good. That's the one thing I pride myself on with my YouTube stuff is my sound is always clear. The one problem with the video, the lighting. I felt like I had to wear sunglasses to watch the video. So I am reposting it right now with hopefully better lighting. Now, this is the pitch for a Blumhouse style movie. By that I mean you can make it for way under $5 million, $5 million tops budget, because it only takes place in 3 locations. A hospital, there are 2 scenes that take place there, a trailer park, and then a mansion. So, yeah. Now, the main character in our film is called Tara. Tara is a Southern belle with an edge. She has a brother named Daryl and a father named Thomas. Now, Thomas has been a single dad for at least 20 years. His wife died tragically in a car accident when his children were very young. So it's just been him and his kids since then. But 2 years ago, something horrible happened. Thomas developed cancer, and it's pretty bad. So the opening scene in our movie is Thomas in the hospital bed and Tara sitting next to him in a chair. Now, she's reading a nursing school book because that's the career path she's choosing. She knows she's not smart enough to be a doctor, and quite frankly, she knows she could not afford medical school because they're lower class. They live, like I said, they live in a trailer park. So she is studying to be a nurse at this community college. Now, as she's studying her book and watching her dad's doctor comes in and tells her, "Miss Winston, we need to talk about your father. The cancer is spreading. It is now stage 4. He needs more chemo so that we can give him at least a few more good years." Tara immediately says, "Well, we're on the hospital's charity care, so you're going to help us, right?" The doctor tells her, "Miss Winston, it's starting to run out. Now, I'm going to do everything I can to fight for your father, to get him the help that he needs, but you're going to have to put up some money." Tara asks, "How much?" $12,000. Now, for someone at her level, financial level, it might as well be $12 million. Her and the doctor exchanged a few pleasantries. Then the next time we see her, she is in her truck, and the camera's out here, so we're just getting a view of her, and she is breaking down and crying hysterically, but we don't hear any of it, we just see it. Then she straightens herself, starts her car, and it's on to her second job. Her first job is being a waitress, but her second job is interesting because even though Tara knows she's not genius level smart, she has trouble reading, she's a little dyslexic, the one thing she has always been good at, and she doesn't understand why, her brother and father and their friends don't understand why, Tara is absolutely good at math, like astonishingly good at math. In community college, she met this friend named Sandy who Tara tutored. Sandy went to go on to a big university and there met a friend named Tony who was struggling in math. So Sandy said, "You should talk to my friend Tara." So Tara has been tutoring Tony. Now, Tony's family is ridiculously rich. I'm talking Jeffrey Bezos level rich. So we're going to get to see a scene where Tara in her beat up truck is driving through this very rich, very wealthy neighborhood. And she gets past the neighborhood, and 3 miles away from all these ridiculously rich houses, she gets to the biggest mansion you've ever seen before in your life. Now, Tara's been here countless times before, but there's something odd about the house right now. As she's driving closer to it, she notices all the windows and doors are boarded up. This is very strange for her. This is a very wealthy family. Why would they be doing this? She parks her truck and starts approaching the door, and that's when she sees an envelope with her name on it. She opens it up, and the envelope says, "Hi, Tara. We are so sorry to do this to you, but we have had a family emergency, and we have to leave right now. We don't know when we're coming back, but you're like family to us, and we wanted to give you something, a last payment." Tara looks, and there is a check for $700. Now, normally, $700 is, oh my God, $700. But in the lieu of everything that just happened, it might as well be 7 cents. She gets back into her car and drives off angrily. So back at the mobile home place, Tara's brother Daryl and his best friend Joshua are having a little barbecue. Now the barbecue pit is obviously homemade, but the food they're cooking on it looks absolutely mouthwatering. So we just got to picture these two cool southern guys. And by the way, this family has no hint of racism in them. In fact, Joshua is a black guy. And that's kind of weird. People would think, wait, a mobile home family having a black best friend? Yeah, because when you're so low on the totem pole financially, you can't afford to be racist. So Joshua has just been a member of the family since the day these kids could walk and talk. So, they're drinking beers. They've got a kiddie pool with a bunch of beers and ice cubes in it. They're having a great Friday. What they do is they are freelance landscapers. Again, they don't make a lot of money, but they have enough clients that they can, depend on people off of references and people passing them on to their friends. So Tara pulls up in her truck, gets out of the truck, gets a beer, and shotguns it, throws it down, grabs another one. Daryl and Josh were like, "Damn, what's going on with you?" Sorry about that. Daryl asks, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be working for those rich people?" Tara just looks at him and goes, "Man, they up and split. I don't know where they are." Daryl's like, "What do you mean they split?" "I don't know. Their windows were all boarded up, and they left me a note and a check for $600. Now, again, Daryl and Joshua are like, $600? Then Tara tells them the bad news about Dad. Daryl's first response is, "What are we going to do? I mean, we can try getting more work, maybe up our prices." Joshua chimes in, "Listen, I'll sell my car. It could at least get you 1,500 for lucky $2,000. It'll help." Daryl looks at him and says, "Brother, I'd hate to say yes to that, but if it comes down to it, We just might have to. They toast each other with their beers and they just spend time talking about how great their dad was. He saved up one Christmas enough money to take Daryl, Joshua, and Tara to Disney World. And it was the best vacation they ever had. And as they're sitting there just reminiscing, Daryl goes, "So, this family, do you think they, I don't know, took all of their belongings with them?" Tara's like, "How should I know? Everything was boarded up. I couldn't see in." Daryl keeps going on. "Let me ask you this. Did they keep anything really valuable in the house?" Tara's like, you worked on their house once doing the landscaping. You've seen how rich these people are." That's when Daryl goes a little deeper. "Let me explain. Did they have any, I don't know, collectibles, jewelry, stuff like that in the house?" Tara looks at him confused and goes, "What are you suggesting?" But then she thinks more and says, "Well, the dad, Mr. Witherson, he has this watch collection, like a bunch of old Rolexes, a whole box full of them. He's always polishing them and showing them off on his Instagram and stuff like that." Daryl is very intrigued by this and says, "Do you think he would have taken those with him right away? I mean, they had to leave so suddenly. Do you think he would have remembered to take those?" That's when it dawns on Tara what her brother's thinking, and she goes, "No, no, no. The Withersons have been good to me. I am not robbing from them. We are not bad people. We are good people." And Daryl goes, "Yeah, we're good people who have been pushed to our limit. You know who else was a good person? Daddy. And he's laying there in the hospital bed, maybe gonna die if we don't do something to get him help. Now, sometimes good people have to do bad things. Hell, we're like Robin Hood." Joshua goes, "I gotta keep telling you this again. Robin Hood was just a book. He wasn't real, man." Daryl's like, "I don't care about that. It's the principle of the thing." They talk a little bit more about it, and finally, Tara gives in. They're going to rob this rich family. But before they go, they think, we don't want to have anything to identify us, so they take all of their driver's licenses and they leave them home. They get into Daryl and Joshua's truck and start driving through that rich neighborhood. They get to the Withersons' house. They get there, they use some of their landscaping equipment to open up the door. That's when things start getting weird because they notice all the furniture is still there and it looks clean. Joshua, just for fun, throws the light switch on and the lights come on. They start exploring the house more and they get into the kitchen. Daryl opens up the refrigerator and it is stocked with food. And not just regular food, really nice, good, expensive food. Really expensive beer. Daryl's eyes light up. He takes a beer, gives one to Joshua. Tara refuses it first, but then takes it. So you got a picture. They've got these backpacks with them. So they're going around the house looking for stuff they think would be of value. Daryl says, "So where does he keep the watches?" Tara goes, "In the rumpus room is where I usually see them." Daryl and Joshua are like, "What's a rumpus room?" Tara says, "It's where rich people have fun, like play pool, arcade games, rumpus." Daryl and Joshua laugh and just go, rumpus. They start walking into the rumpus room and they open the door. And that's when they see Tony tied to the wall with her hands like this, gag in her mouth. She's freaked out to see them. They're freaked out to see her. They all look at each other and go, okay, new plan. Maybe we'll get on Ellen to help Dad. Right now, we gotta save that girl. Because again, these are good people. They're not criminals, and they know to do the right thing when it presents itself. Okay, so our group immediately jumps into action and takes the gag out of Tony's mouth. Tony's first words are, Tara, what the hell are you doing in my house? Tara looks at her and goes, that doesn't matter right now. Why are you tied up? Tony tells her, my parents have gone insane. You have to help me right now. You have to get me out of here. So Daryl and Joshua start working on their hand restraints. Then they hear the footsteps. Tony tells them to hide in the closet right now. Our group runs in and hides. Then Tony's parents and someone else enters the room. He's an older man from what we can tell by his voice. And he says, are you willing to do anything to end this? Takes a few seconds, and Tony's mom says, yes. Yes, we are. The old man says, I'll start now. That's when Tara can't handle it anymore. She runs out of the closet and screams, don't you put your hands on her. We see Tony's mom and dad on the right. Then the camera turns and we see a priest. That's when Tony breaks off her restraints. Her eyes are yellow. Her face looks messed up. She's freaking possessed. She takes her hand, slashes her mom and dad's throat. They're dead. She grabs the priest by the neck, throws him up. He breaks down the door to the rumpus room, flies up 3 stairs. He's knocked out cold. She does some, I don't know, demon powers and makes Daryl and Joshua fall to the ground. They're crying in pain. She does more demon powers. Tara is frozen and can't move. That's when Tony goes into Tara's pocket and takes out her cell phone, dials 911, and starts crying and says, you have to help me. You have to help me. Someone broke into my house. They killed my mom and dad. And I think they killed our priest, too. The 911 operator asked for her address. Tony gives it to them. The operator says, listen, you're very far away. It's going to take us about an hour to get to you. Do you want to stay on the phone with me till help gets there? Tony says, no, I'm afraid they might hear me. My family has a safe room. I'm going to go hide in it. The 911 operator says, I have your number. I'll call you to check on you. Tony hangs up the phone, hands it back to Tara, and with very sinister, evil eyes stares at her, then smiles really big and says, looks like we got an hour to play. Puts her hand down. Tony falls down. The guys are free from whatever she's done with them. She runs out of the room. So now these 3 good people who did something bad for a good reason are now locked in a house with a demon-possessed 20-something-year-old girl. I mean, what are they going to do? Call the cops and say, hey, listen, funniest thing happened. We were trying to rob this place, and wouldn't you know it, we walked in on an exorcism. Can you please help us? So, yeah, that's the pitch. It's a home invasion movie turned onto its head. I don't know. I really like it. It feels like a Blumhouse style movie, but I can't think of a title. If you can think of a title, please comment below and let me know what you would call it. Now I'm going to ask you to do me a big favor. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I got a huge question for you.